Good morning, students. Welcome back to our class, that is Supply Chain Management. Today, we are going to start with our fifth unit in Supply Chain Management with the topic Supply Chain Network Design. See, what does it mean? What does it include? What are the things are there? So, all these things we are going to learn today. Supply chain network design is a process of determining the number of suppliers, the locations of facilities, determining the product flow within the supply chain and location of distribution centers to effectively meet up the customer demand. It means that it is a process where it is going to determine or which is going to show the number of suppliers, how many suppliers are there, how many distribution points are there, and what is the time, what is the distribution of the work, and what is the product flow, how the product is going to flow within a supply chain. And all these things are taking place in the effective manners which are going to meet with the customer demand. So the work which is taking place in the supply chain effectively for meeting the customer demand is known as supply chain network design. Next, objectives of supply chain network design. The first thing is to optimize the facilities located in the supply chain, to allocate optimum capacities and technical requirements to each facility, to assign the sources and markets to facilitate the transportation of materials to minimum distance. Last one, to minimize the overall cost of logistics and transportation. So these are the major objectives of supply chains network design. It says that it is going to facilitate supply, that means optimizing it, and to allocate. Optimizing in the sense it is a positive thing. So it is going to relocate the supply chain in a proper way. The allocation of the facilities for the supply chain is technically requirement, that means technically it is going to be required for each and every facility, to assign the sources and markets to facilitate the transportation of materials to minimum distance. So what is going, the main objective of supply chain network design is to facilitate the transportation of goods or the materials at minimum distance, catching the nearby distance, which one is good for us, which one is not good for us. All these things are coming in the supply chain network design. And the last one is to minimize the cost of the logistics and transport, to save the money, efforts, time, and effective errors within the supply chain. It is the objective of, these are the objectives of supply chain network design. Now we will see supply chain management, supply chain work design decisions are there. What are the decisions? It is going to introduce a new product in the market. What are the new product is coming into the market? We have to check out how the supply is there, either it is having the proper supply or not, either it is having the optimal sourcing of materials or not, either it is having proper selection of the product or the manufacturing plants or not. All these things will be there. Next, selection of target customers and locations of facilities. Number of distribution centers to be located by considering the customer convenience and cost benefits. All these things will come under the decisions of supply chain network design. See, once we have taken, we come to know about the objectives. Now we are going to learn about the decisions, how the decisions have to be taken place in the supply chain. It depends on the new product or the old product. It is going to be optimal the sourcing of materials, how the sources of, that means supply of the raw materials or the goods for the material, location, where the location of the manufacturing unit, that means from our warehouse to manufacturing unit, how much the distance is there, and selecting of the target customers and location of facilities, targeting the customers, target customers and their requirements or demands or their needs. Then number of distribution centers, how many distribution centers or points are there to be located by considering the customer convenience and cost benefits. by seeing which zone, either east side, west side, north side, south side, or the center side. All these things they will check it out. Where the conveniency or the benefit for the customers will be there. Where the goods can be delivered within the short span of time, within the time period of the customer. All these things will come under the decision of the supply chains network design. Next, framework. The framework for designing supply chain network. The main aim of framework for designing the supply chain is to design a supply chain network is to maximize the profitability of a firm by meeting the demands and expectations of the customers. To meet the customers' demands and expectations of the customers, all these things, that means profitability to the firm, it is going to be profit to the firm, and meeting the expectations and the determinations of the customers and consumers. All these things are coming. Next, the designing the process of a supply chain network involves 4 phases. What are those? First one, defining the supply chain strategy. Second one, defining the regional facility configuration. Third one, selecting desirable potentiality. And fourth one, is location choice. Now, we will go one by one in a proper way. First, designing the supply chain strategy. It means that in this phase, the manager defines the supply chain design of a firm. This phase deals with the determination of the stages involved in the supply chain and the operational process of a supply chain. That means outsourcing or in-house productions. What are the things to be there? It is taking place. Now the supply chain managers forecast the changing global competition and the actions of its competitors. They also identifies the constraints on available capital and determines whether the growth can be attained by acquiring the present faculties or expanding the facilities or partnering. All these issues comes under the strategies of the supply chains. Apart from that, the supply chain strategy aims at meeting the need and expectations of customers. What is the main purpose of the strategy? It is going to fulfill the need or wants or the expectations of the customers, and it is matching the needs and expectations of the customers. It outlines the capabilities which as supply chain networks most possessed for supporting the company's strategy. All these things comes under the supply chain strategy. Now, second one is defining the regional facility configuration. In this phase, what will happen? The firm determines the regional location of the facilities, their roles and their responsibilities and capabilities to allocate to the each facility. Facility is a point over here where it is taking place. That means the number of facilities and the number of locations should be decided based on the demand estimation of the country, customer preference and type of the market, whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous. In the case of homogeneous market, the firms need to consolidate the existing facilities to a large extent, and for heterogeneous market, the firm needs to locate small facilities in each region. All these things will be there. Next one, selecting the desirable potential sites. In this phase, what will happen? The firm selects a set of potential sites. Within a number of sites, they will select only potential site in each region for the location of facilities. Then, the selection of these sites for planned location is made by analyzing the infrastructure facilities which are available to meet the customer demand. The infrastructure requirements are of two types. All these things will be taken place in the proper way. Next, apart from that, what is happening? The location choice will be there. In this phase, the supply chain manager need to identify the exact location and allocation of capability or the capacity to each facility. He should focus more on the potentiality sites which are selected in the previous phase by considering the margin, market demand, market logistic cost, taxes, factory cost, all the expenditures which are taking place for the manufacturing for the good to till the delivery of the goods in the supply chain to the customer. All these things will be there. So all these things are the factors which are going to frame for the for taking the decision for supply chains network design. Now, distribution network in supply chains. How the distribution supply chain plays are in many factors. What are those? We will learn one by one. Okay. Now, first one is in the distribution. What is happening? The distribution will go with the direct shipment network, then direct shipment with milk runs through central distribution centers, and the last one is cross docking. Say in the direct shipment network, what will happen? The suppliers supply directly to the retailer. Routing of each shipment is ready, specified, and the supply chain manager needs to decide only but about the quantity and the mode of transportation. So here what is happening? The distributor is supplying the goods to the retailer directly, and whatever the transportation is taking place, whatever the logistic criteria is taking place, it is going to be involved with these two persons, and whatever the needs are taking place in that, depending on the needs, they will take the decision. Now, during the operations and coordinations in this kind of operation, the network is very easy. And another advantage is it can be eliminate of intermediate warehouses as goods are shipped directly to the retailers. So no need of intermediate channels will not be there. There is not kind of any risk because the customer is purchasing goods with limited quantity. But whereas the retailer is purchasing the goods with the bulk quantity, whereas the goods are taking place properly in the direct shipment network. Next one, direct shipping with milk runs. In this method, a truck delivers products from single supplier to multiple retailers or from multiple retailers to a single retailer. So what is happening? The truck driver will be there. He will carry the products from milk supplier. That means not milk here in the single supplier. He is the single supplier. From there, he is going to give the goods to the multiple retailers, then multiple retailers to single retailer. All these things are taking place in the milk runs. In this method, the supply chain manager has to decide the route of each run. So the manager will be the final decision maker who is going to take the decision on making the goods. So what is happening here? Which route is taking place first? So they have to check what is that, how much distance is taking place, how much the fuel is consuming by the vehicle, whether it is having a traffic jam or not, whether it is having any disaster management has been taking place in that route, or any volcano, or it is a mountain route, or it is a steepy route, or it is a platitudes or plains, what sort of route it is, whether it is going via roadways, railways, waterways, airways, all these things will be taking place. So they have to check out. The manager, here the manager is playing a vital role to take the decisions which truck should have to go in which route on which basis. This method also eliminates the number of intermediate warehouses. Here, the method lowers the transportation cost. What is happening? The transportation cost also will be less. In this method also the intermediate channels will not be there. So all these things are approving or ignoring. Now, replenishment lot size at the retail store may require less than truckload. Less than truckload, LTL. So replenishment lot size. What are the lot size will be there? What is the quantity of the goods are taking place? It is going to be taken place by the truck driver, and he is going to deliver the goods. So what is happening here? Here the goods are taking place. That means just in time. The shipping parts from single supplier to its many closely located assessment or assembly process is going to be taking place. So here replenishing is filling up. That means the filling up again and again. Whatever the goods are coming, we know the chain. every day the goods has to be delivered from so and so place to so and so place, or from so and so distance to so and so distance, from the retailer to the supplier, supplier to the retailer, with so and so date and so and so time, everything will be mentioned and they are going to. So this kind of network is known as direct shipment with milk runs. Next, the third one is running through central distributions. So here what is happening? The shipment through a distribution center will be there. In this, the retail stores are divided into geographical regions served by a distribution center or DC. An extra layer between the supplier and the retailer will be taken place in each and every goods. So all these goods are taken place in a proper way. The extra layer between the suppliers and the retailers serves two important functions. What are those? To store inventory, to act as a transfer locations. So these are the two important functions are taking place by the layers between the suppliers and the retailer. Apart from that, the distribution centers are very useful if inbound supply is in large quantities and manufacturer is far from retailer. Next one, the distribution centers can store these materials and ship to retailers whenever they are in need in small quantities. All these things will be taking place in the central distribution center. Now, cross docking. What is happening here in this? Just take a finished good from the manufacturing plant and deliver it directly to the customer with little or no handling in between. So this kind of network or this kind of distribution is known as cross docking. It reduces the handling and storage of the inventory. Now, we are having factors affecting distribution network design. What are those? First one is centralization and rationalization. In this distribution network, planning, that means there is a well established relationship between the number of distribution points, transportation costs, and customer service targets. All these things will be involved. Next, fuel cost. How much the vehicle is consuming, any significant shift is there or not, or how much electricity or fuel or impact, that means loading and unloading charges or couriers inwards and courier outwards is taking place. Many distribution projects that are otherwise fail once the cost of the energy becomes a factor. So what is happening is the fuel prices are hiking day by day. If you see here nowadays, the fuel charges are increasing day by day and the cost of the labor is also increasing. So we have to increase the charges, service charges of the customer. All these things will be taking place in a proper way. This is especially true for energy intensive facilities for warehouses or in warehouses. Next one is mode assessment. That means mode assessment depending on service requirement. It may be possible to move from lower, that means less than truckload (LTL) services to the parcel are in the reduced freight cost. Whatever the things are there, that means how the parcel is taking place, how the freight charges are taking place, depending on that mode assessment will be there. Next, transportation management system. Who is a manager is the authorized person who is going to take place the management system of the transportation. Which driver should have to take which truck? What are the goods should have to be carried in which truck? What are the closing customers' demands and needs and expectations are that they have to know on which date, which time, which place, which direction the goods are to be transported. Everything will be there. How much time it consumes, how much fuel it is consuming, either the vehicle is in the proper condition or fitness center or not. They have to check it. Next one is private fuel consent. So here what is happening? It can benefit from an in-house fuel supply programs to gain control over the fuel cost and usage. So private fleet, we are going to hire some private people. They are going to take care about the vehicles and fuel. We are just going to pay some amount. They are delivering the products or goods to the customer place which the customer has ordered for its product. Next, regional versus central networks. So here they have to check it out either the cost of the delivery using different modes of transportation as well as the service availability can be directly impacted fuel cost raise, or understanding the customers expectations, and it is in the regional way or in the central networks, what are the things are taking place, it is going to be work on it. Next one is flexibility. In the flexibility, what is happening in today's unpredicted business climate, we can say that flexibility is the key to continue success for the some and survive for others. That means if the product flexibility is there, the customers can rely on us and they can trust on us and they can order again and again. With this, we are going to win the hearts of the customers in the market, and the customers have the trust on it. Either it is any kind of climate will be there, the delivery is going to be takes place properly, and we to have a running bond business for a long term. Next, information systems. Information system is the what? Information system, that means nowadays the data, the collection of the data of the customers, and understanding the needs, expectations, and demands, and ordering phases of the customers can be important, so that we can able to understand the area and the location and the address of the customers. No need to ask again and again, no need to check. That means we can save the time, money, efforts of the company and company peoples. Real time. So the goods should, that means the customers' requirements are moving towards being fulfillment. That means being able to instantly track on the order through every step. That means what are the fulfillment steps will be there. It should have to go optimally in a optimistic way for delivering the goods. That means within the real time, the delivery time will be there. So they have to deliver the goods within the time, within the date, within the place, and the order should have to. That means the amount should have to be finished. That we have to get the amount from the customers and we have to bear it. We have to order it. So all these things will be taking place in the real time. Paperless. So we are going to save our time, money, efforts, as well as paper also. So that nowadays no need of paper for the documents for checking. So just we are sending in one OTP to the customer's phone, and they are rechecking it, and they are informing us that they are resending, and we are matching with that OTP, and we are closing the delivery goods or closing the deal with the customer. So all these things will be there and standardized. Nowadays this has become standardized in the company or the market, that the people are utilizing the new technological things for the beneficiary of the customers and for the company also. Last one is variety. Special packing, utilizing, pricing, labeling, kitting, and delivery requirements are becoming the norms, or the rules and regulations must be addressed, becoming the norms in the distribution plans. So these tags should be designed to operations, not track one on a relative offer. So what is happening here? The value-added services lines as mandatory for gaining the competitive advantage in the hindsight gain. That means increasing the business. There is not any kind of headache or the loss of the data. So variety is there. Whatever the things are technology is taking place nowadays, we have to take place properly. Now to help manager, that means a simple review process involving a multi-criterion decision making template can help to resolve the above issues. Next, transportation decisions can also affect customer service levels and inventory level. So it is with the help of the transportations in the supply chains, we are going to fulfill the customers' requirements, their needs, their expectations. The above factors which you have read just now or explained by me. It is, that means it's related vehicles related costs, fixed operating costs, inventory costs, facility costs, and service level costs are there. So here the manager is playing a very important role. So manager can design their transportation in number of ways, which part. Now there should be a well established relationship between the number of distribution points. So every point there should be, that means in each and every distribution point with the manager, there should be a good relationship should have to be maintained between two parties. Then only the business can run smoothly and fastly and reach to its effective goal within a short span of time. So these are the things where the supply chains network design was there. I hope students will understand the concept. So we have completed our first and second topic in 5th unit. Thank you. Have a nice day. Please mention your roll numbers in the comment box. Thank you.